Hey guys, Mr. Riz here to help you out on the next part of our chapter 4 unit here. And what we're going to be looking at is solving quadratic equations by square roots. Okay, so our goal is to basically use this other method, how to solve a quadratic. This one's actually nice and neat, but it only works when we're dealing with a quadratic that has a lone x squared. You cannot do this if there's an x squared and an x. But if there's just an x squared, this is a really quick, fast, easy way to solve. All right, so what we have to do is we have to isolate the variable. So that's just like going old school solving the equation. So we try to get the x squared by itself. Then once we get rid of the x squared, or to get rid of the square, we have to do the inverse, which is a square root. Well, there we go, square root. AKA that symbol there. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. All right, and then what we have to remember here, when we take a square root of a number, you technically get two answers. One of them is positive, and one of them is negative. And sometimes you'll see in math what's known as the plus or minus sign. So meaning that there's a positive version and a negative version of that. Okay, so let's solve this one here. So if we're going to isolate this x squared, just like in normal math, we would minus the 10 from both sides. Okay, we get 4x squared equals, all right, 46 minus 10, that's 36. And then continue to isolate. We're going to divide by 4 to get the x squared by itself. And 36 divided by 4 is 9. All right, now that we got the x squared by itself, we're going to do the inverse of the square, which is to square root both sides. And we get x equals, now the square root of 9 is 3. What we have to remember here is that technically we get a positive and negative 3. So remember with quadratics, we always get two answers. In this case, we get two of them. It's positive 3 and negative 3. All right, let's keep practicing this here. Hopefully this is kind of nice and easy, and this is a great technique. All right, so at this one here, we have to add the 5 over to the other side. So we get 3x is equal to 30, or 3x squared is equal to 30. We're going to divide by 3. And we get x squared is equal to plus or minus 10. Or 10. Oh my God, I'm thinking ahead. Then we take the square root. So we are going to get x equals plus or minus. Now the square root of 10 is not 5. 5 times 5 is 25, 9, 10. So we got to use the calculator here. We're just going to round to the second decimal place. The square root of 10 is 3.16. All right, so we'd have a positive and a negative version of that. So same thing, like we are graphing these that want to come out nice, but you know, we would be able to use a graphing calculator, or in this technique, we can get through it pretty quick. All right, two more problems here to see if you guys got the hang of this. All right, so this problem here, isolate the x squared. We're going to add 6 over to the other side. All right, 6x squared is equal to, all right, 288 plus 6 is 294. We're going to divide that by 6. I think that does come out nice. Let me just double check my calculator. I think it's 49. 294 divided by 6 is 49. And then when we take the square root of both sides, we get x equals plus or minus 7. If you don't trust yourself with the square root, use the calculator. All right, if you guys ever want to pause the video to try them on your own, you can, but let's go through this next one here. All right, we're going to add 2 to both sides. All right, so we get 10k squared is equal to, that'd be 230. Going to divide both sides by 10. You know, we're isolating the variable, 23. And then last step, we're going to take the square root. And anytime we take the square root, we get a positive and negative version of the answer. Square root of 23 doesn't come out nice, so we're going to put a decimal down. Calculator tells me it is 2.7958. Okay, that actually rounds to, oh, not 2. When I say 2, it's 4. 4.80. Yep, that's 795. We'll round up. All right. So I've got 2 problems here for you to try on your own on Canvas. If you have any questions, ask. I know that was nice and quick, but hopefully, yeah, that section is easy. Have a good one.
Yeah.